Hello guys, it's Eugen813. Today we got a bit of a different video. It's not about a news story, although I'll get to that later. It's not about any sports in terms of right now, anything currently happening. But I just thought of something the other day. And when I think about something and I want to do a video about it, I just do it. I've already explained that. I thought of, I wish people used the USSR style of hockey in the NHL, because it would be a lot of fun to watch. The USSR hockey team basically started with a man named Anatoly Tarasov. He was pretty much an intellectual, hockey intellectual. He looked at film from the NHL. And basically he saw hockey as a different game. Most of us, the way we see hockey is a hard-hitting, tough, not necessarily like a goon sort of game, like just kill everybody, but a game that's played on grit, that's just on instincts, and basically on a lot of individual skill. And that's the main source of why USSR hockey was so good, was because Anatoly Tarasov saw the fabric of the game, the passing, the skating, the conditioning, as a way to make a superior brand of hockey to that which was used in the NHL. Now, one of the main things he created was a style of team play rather than individual skills. In the NHL, it was mainly just go after your opponent, just like Bobby Clark said. Just go after your opponent, go after the puck, try to score goals. That's basically what it was. Just try to put the puck in the net, whichever way you can. He thought that there was a deeper strategy on how you could be successful in putting the puck in the net. One of the main things that he created was he wanted to make a team where they only spent time with each other. They spent a lot of time with each other. Sadly, they spent 11 months at a training camp. Didn't get to see their families very much. They spent a lot of time with their teammates. And that is why CSKA Moscow, the Soviet championship team in the Soviet championship, which was basically the NHL, but in the Soviet Union, why they were so good was because they wanted all the best players to be on that team so that they could all play together on the Soviet national team and they'd all know each other. Basically, he made it so they all practiced with each other to the point where they could play with a blindfold with each other, literally with a blindfold. They were skating up the ice and they always knew where their teammate was, so the passing, they did a lot of drop passes, a lot of different plays that just required, a feeling for each other, and that's what really started the whole team chemistry. Many believe it's also used in the way the Dutch played soccer in the 70s. I've been told that as well. I'm not sure if that's true. You can say if that's not true. And also, it required a lot of conditioning as well. They practiced a lot. They did a lot of drills. And it wasn't the same kind of drills. Like, it wasn't, skating around, shooting the puck, stopping the puck. They used a lot of different kinds of drills. They used, like, for example, with Vladislav Tretiak, who is the main goaltender for the USSR, one of the best goaltenders ever. I remember seeing footage of him with a tennis ball, and somebody was behind him throwing the tennis ball against the wall, and he was basically catching it with his hands and everything, and creating basically quick reflexes. They also did a lot of other kinds of stretches. They did jump ropes. They did lots and lots of barbells, like they did stuff like that. And at one point it showed them skating with a big huge weight on a rope where they were skating up and down the ice, and they were carrying each other, and sometimes they basically lived an army lifestyle. And that really put the conditioning at the top. And so you got the conditioning, you got the chemistry, and you got the skills mixed in with the chemistry and the conditioning, and they were really able to play as a team. And Canada always had the best players, but the USSR always had the best team, and that's why they were able to crush the NHL All-Stars, especially the NHL All-Stars, because the All-Stars were just a group of guys with a ton of talent. The Soviets were a team that played together for years, and they knew everybody, and they knew everything about the game inside and out. And I think it's very important to appreciate their style of play. Now here is an example of a goal in the 1972 Summit Series. It's the goal that made it 2-1 for Canada in Game 1 at the Forum by Yevgeny Zeman. Now, we have the play here. Oh, sorry, that's a bit slowed down. We'll just wait for it to get to the part where I explain it. Goes behind. I don't know who the players are, sorry, but he gets the puck. He passes it up. And you see there the forward chasing after the puck. And you notice how he manages to get there. Now the defenseman has the puck. And he passes it up the blue line. Notice how that forward just blows right by the Canadian defense because they're not very, well conditioned. The puck goes to a defenseman that's right behind there, and you notice how the defenseman drops down low. Right there you see the two players switching positions, so that right now the Canadian defense is completely baffled. They don't know what to do. Passes it back to the defense. He takes a slap shot. Dryden makes the save. Now he passes it over to the other defenseman. Slaps the puck. And now, because there's three guys in that one area, they're all discombobulated. They have no idea who to cover because they've all switched their positions. And so that leaves two guys wide open. Plus the defenseman. The defenseman now comes up. He passes it down low. So now they're chasing after him. That guy is looking that way towards the puck. And because they're not covering properly, there's one guy wide open over there. And then he passes it across to a wide open Zeman, who puts it back behind Dryden. Now that took a while, but basically that play is great because they're well conditioned. They can blow right past the defense. They used a lot of misdirection by switching up positions. Nobody ever did this. They never had defensemen and forwards switching positions, but this really discombobulated the Canadians, and it showed how there were three guys in one spot, because it's like, what the heck's going on? And that left so many people wide open, and because they know where everybody is, they're able to quickly do bang, 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 and the puck's in the back of the net. And it's almost as if they invented that play a million times over in order for it to work every single time. That's just one in many examples, but I decided to use that example. And I think because of that, that is a really great brand of hockey, and it was so successful as the Soviets did so great for so many years. Let me pull up some stats for you guys right now. they were able to win so many gold medals. So here we are on the Soviet national team. Their first game, they beat East Germany 23-2. Their largest victory was 28-2 over Italy. Yeah, that's crazy. Basically, their world championship record: gold in 1954, silver in 1955, silver 1957, silver 1958, silver 1959, bronze 1961. Didn't participate in 1962 because it was in the US. And then gold in 1963, gold in 1965, gold in 1966, gold 1967, gold 1969, gold in 1970, gold in 1971, silver in 1972, gold in 1973, gold in 1974, gold in 1975, silver 1976, bronze in 1977, gold in 1978, gold in 1979, silver in 1980. That's weird. Gold in 1981, gold in 1982, gold in 1983, bronze in 1985, gold in 1986, silver in 1987, gold in 1989, gold in 1990, and silver in 1991. And then the USSR dissolved. Basically, they won the Canada Cup in 1981, destroying Canada in the final, I think. They went to the final once, finished in 5th place once, but that was later on. Finished in 3rd place in 1976. Lost in the semifinal in 1984. And basically, in the Olympics, gold in 1956, bronze in 1960, gold in 1964, gold in 1968, gold in 1972, gold in 1976, silver in 1980, that was the miracle on ice, gold in 1984, gold in 1988. This team won everything there was to win, to the point where the reason why they were so emotional is because they didn't get a thrill out of winning anymore. They were just so good, and I know it sounds like I'm just rambling on about nonsense, but really, I think you should look in to Soviet hockey. I just gave an introduction to it. Maybe you should watch the movie Red Army by Gabe Polsky, and that will give you a better idea of the lifestyle of a Soviet player. It really shows how people kind of just forgot about the impact that the Soviet national team had on the game of hockey, and how beautiful hockey can be if it's played the right way. And not like John Scott. Sorry. Yeah, I hate John Scott. I hate the All-Star game as well, and I hate Donald Trump's Muslim or refugee or whatever the freak you want to call it. Because it has Iran on the list, but it doesn't have Saudi Arabia. Nothing to do with oil, of course. And the Raptors are struggling. Leafs are finally coming back after the All-Star game. A shooting at a mosque in Quebec. Yeah, lots of stuff to cover. I might cover it tomorrow. I just don't feel like doing it today. I felt like doing this video today. Basically, I'll see you next time. And by the way, the review on the book The Leafs should be out in about a month. Yeah. It might take me a while to read it because I have a lot of stuff to do. And a lot of other stuff I'd rather be doing, believe it or not. Yeah. But I'll get that to you soon enough, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.